Hello everybody. I posted a video yesterday commenting on what I consider to be the difference between brackets 4 and 5 in the context of Magic the Gathering, what is considered cEDH and what isn't considered cEDH in my mind, and I got a response in a comment on YouTube, which I think is a fine way to look at it. Two things that I would address in that though is that if your plan is to win at any cost, then there's no room for any decks at all that aren't what is considered the best deck at the time. And I know that's a variable and people are always like trying to prove or test different decks to be viable as the best deck, like that's the point. But it also means that there are decks that can be considered cEDH that wouldn't be, like Etali, the red and green Etali, which definitely has a seat at a cEDH table, but it's limited by the fact that it's in red and green and needs to be played in a very specific way. But that doesn't mean that it's not good and that it can't still play cEDH. But it's not Timnacrom, it's not Rogsai. It's saying that you're playing to play cEDH, you have to be playing whatever you have to win at any cost. It means that any deck that isn't the best deck list isn't cEDH. So like, yeah, that one for me is not the perfect summary. And then the second part of that comment about having a separate ban list is that the whole point of cEDH, I think as it stands, is building the most powerful level of decks within the format of Commander. That's literally like competitive EDH, competitive Commander. If you end up with a separate ban list, that creates an entirely new format, really. It's a different singleton format that is competitive, but then cEDH would still exist with the ban list that is Commander. It would just be a different format if you had a different ban list. So I don't really see like what the point or benefit of having a separate ban list for cEDH would be, unless you specifically just wanted to create a new format where anything goes, which would be fine, but it wouldn't be cEDH anymore. The whole point of cEDH is to build a deck that can play with the most powerful decks and still have a chance of winning, in my head. But yeah, overall, not a bad take, but those are just my thoughts on that take.